delizia, muito linda. Tá bom, não?
My name is Samuel Karanja Mumunyo. I trained in agriculture engineering in the university. But my interaction and my participation in community development since 1980 has taken me to different places and experienced different communities in Kenya, and luckily also traveled a bit outside the country. When I look at the Kenyan society, I wonder why, after independence, the government was dishing out land to people who, in theory, were needy, including people in government, including people in politics, including administrators. But my parents were left out. And so too, other millions of families in Kenya. Generally, our politics the world over is bad, is practiced in a bad way. It's not the politics that's bad, it's the players that are bad. In Africa, the situation is worse. You advanced 3 steps and then you slide back 2 steps. The African government was to address 3 core issues: education, poverty, diseases. So when I look back more than 40 years down the line, I see it's like we have not moved an inch in either of those 3 spheres. We may have progressed a bit more in education, but certainly in terms of diseases, and especially preventable diseases, we haven't done much. When I look at education, which is the main tool that can transform the society, like it did my family, I see many children in the rural areas that are not going to school because of several reasons. Even if school is free, they need uniform, they need also writing materials, and they need to be satisfied. You can't learn on an empty stomach. You need to have good education to do good agricultural production. And I don't mean Western education. I'm talking of an education system that is, whether Western or scientific, blended on the people's knowledge, the people's technical knowledge. Because we are not creating the world now. These communities you see today have lived. How did they survive? What were their coping strategies? And it is upon this that we should graft scientific and or any other type of education or knowledge. And this is my commitment to education, because it is through education that me, my brothers, have transformed not only our own selves and our nucleus families, but also our own parents. I have this obligation to transform the lives of as many people as I can for as long as I live and I'm strong enough to work. Since the colonial times, Africa has just been a producer of raw materials for the Western society. And we buy the same materials refined or processed at much higher cost than we sold our raw materials. We are not thinking of this, what the politicians call foreign investors coming to the country. Foreign investor in many situations is the multinational companies coming in the cities to actually bleed our people and our country for their own benefit. Most of the land is owned and is in the hands of people who don't need it for livelihood. the majority of the people who need it for livelihood don't own it or have no access to it. And especially for women, who do about 60% of the work on the farm. These are the very silent heroes of this country, and actually indeed most of Africa. They feed us all, but they are not heard, they are not listened to, and nobody thinks about them seriously. The experiences that the African person has gone through, experiences of slave trade and colonialism and post-independence mismanagement, has greatly disoriented the African person. Consequently, we have very little faith in ourselves. We have no pride, have no dignity, have no confidence. And what type of person do you expect from such a definition? It's people who live by the day, people without a clear vision, people who don't see any bright future in the horizon, because they have just been going through suffering. They have not known the better part of life, the better ways of life. So the biggest challenge now for us in community development is to inspire the people once again, to show them that yes, there is a future, there is possibility for a future. So we chose as an organization to address the issue of food sovereignty. So food sovereignty to us is when everybody has access to quality food at all times, and also access to factors of production, and they are able to partake their food in some harmonious environment. And they have not only for the day, but for a longer period, and the resources are tapped in a sustainable way. You need proper infrastructure, the road network. You have experienced what the road network in Kenya is like, and especially in the rural areas. We need to look at the issues of water as an input in food, as an ingredient in food, and also as a factor for production of food. The strengths of our people. First of all, our family and community values. I think this, the West should learn from us. We have very strong community values. We respect our elders. We have very clearly defined relationships. We have also very nice knowledge transfer systems. People are quite innovative and resilient. Africa is hard. We have gone through extremely hard times. And we survive, first by the grace of God, but second because